because it was the biggest stage and you were the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and we won that game on the final drive. Just to be able to go all the way downfield and John Taylor, you know, he caught the ball, but, you know, it just felt just like I caught the ball. It was real special.
Okay. Well, we want
I appreciate that.
I want you to keep in mind, Jerry will be with us the entire day. We have a sad note to pass along to you. Legendary broadcaster Chris Schenkel has passed away. Schenkel covered many great sporting events over his career. One highlight, his call of the 1958 NFL championship game between the Colts and the Giants. Chris Schenkel was 82. Coming up, we'll send you out to your game as the NFL Today is first on the field. Plus, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey will be performing America the Beautiful when we continue in just a moment.
Southwest Airlines fun fares are available every day to your favorite destinations, starting at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
Would you kindly tell me what you're doing in the road?
I'm with the help desk. You're lost. You're headed to Fresno.
Fresno, right.
This is the road to Albuquerque.
How'd you know we were lost?
The boxes told me.
The boxes?
RFID radio tags on the cargo. Helps track shipments.
The boxes knew we were lost. Maybe the boxes should drive. Very funny.
KFC's new flavor station lets you choose your own flavor, which puts you in charge.
With KFC's flavor station, I'm in charge!
With KFC's new flavor station, I'm in charge!
You're in control with KFC's new flavor station. Finally, get your wings dipped any way you want. Choose from 3 awesome sauces: new fiery buffalo, new sweet and spicy, or classic honey barbecue. Right now, get 6 for $2.99 or 18 for $7.99.
Okay, who's in charge here?
Be the boss. Choose your sauce at KFC.
I'd like to be your lender.
At LendingTree, banks compete for your business.
I want to be your lender.
I want to compete for your loan.
Refinance now, and they'll compete to bring you the LendingTree Flex Loan. $175,000 for about $675 a month.
Yes.
Look who's won. You.
Now that is a low rate.
Call 1-800-555-TREE today. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
We started it, we're ending it. September 30th is your absolute last day to get Chevy employee pricing for everyone on most 05 and 06 full-size trucks. From the family of Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road, and the #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America. Right now, get a 2006 Silverado 1500 regular cab WT for under $16,200. See your local Chevy dealer.
So this is where it all started.
So what is it going to take to make it back to the Super Bowl?
To see out the game.
Roy,
I gotta go. I gotta use a practice.
The NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Everyone's a bit of a Saints fan today. The introduction of the New Orleans Saints in Carolina as they prepare to take on the Panthers. We have something new for you this season. Our game coverage begins 10 minutes prior to kickoff. Right now, let's head out to the stadiums as the NFL Today is first on the field. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much. NFL kickoff weekend. We join you from Cleveland, the Battle of Ohio, as the Bengals meet the Browns, one of the most passionate football cities in America. They are ready for kickoff 2005 here in the NFL. And we welcome you inside the booth. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcots. Great to be with you for another season of NFL coverage here on CBS. Cincinnati and Cleveland. The word stability isn't exactly a word in the vocabulary that's come up to describe the Bengals in recent years, but that applies this year with This team now bringing back its entire offense from a year ago. You just don't hear about that in the NFL these days.
And stability has come to Cincinnati with the arrival of Marvin Lewis. Back-to-back 8-8 records since Marvin's come to town. He wants to get off to a fast start, and he's going to need Carson Palmer to play the beginning of this season like he ended the 2004 season. Led their offense to 3 consecutive games of 450 yards or more on offense. He was just red hot and on fire. A total of 13 touchdown passes in his last 6 starts and led him to a 4-2 record in those last 6 games. You can see how he started last year as opposed to the way that he finished. So he needs to get off to a fast start if Marvin Lewis is going to avoid that 1-4 start like he had over the last 2 seasons.
And Solomon, we heard about an hour and a half ago that Marvin Lewis made the decision that Rudy Johnson is not going to start at running back for Cincinnati. He broke an unspecified team rule. Chris Perry gets the start. What we do expect to see Johnson in there very early running the football. Let's talk about Cleveland. A new era of Browns football. I think we've heard that before. Romeo Crennel, though, the new head coach, he makes his debut as a head man. A lot of people thrilled to see him get the opportunity. He's excited for the chance to show what he can do in that position.
Well, he comes with great credibility. 5 Super Bowl rings as an assistant coach, and he told me he has a vision for what type of players he wants on this football team. Players who are disciplined, who have great fundamentals, who give excellent effort, and play physical football. So had to clean house, brought in new players, 26 new players now on this roster. You can see the guys he sent packing. Jeff Garcia, no longer here. Courtney Brown, Gerard Warren were once on that defensive line. Robert Griffith and Anthony Henry on the defensive secondary. They are now gone. Players he have brought in, Trent Dilfer at the quarterback position, he believes gives them great leadership. Ruben Drones will start at running back. Joe Andruzzi is one of 3 new offensive linemen. And Brian Russell is one of 3 new defensive backs playing in the secondary for the Cleveland Browns. So you can see already Romeo Crennel putting his stamp on this defense.
Let's get to storylines. UPS delivers today's reliable game points.
Well, the thing is, the offensive line, they have everyone starting from last year. So I think the offensive line for the Bengals is key to getting off to a fast start. Now for Cleveland, they're going to have to stop the running game of the Cincinnati Bengals. Have to do it with 7 in the box and really defend against their explosive wide receivers. Now Cleveland, they have a new scheme on defense, but the Bengals, they have youth and inexperience on defense. So that leads to a lot of mistakes, which may lead to a lot of touchdowns for both offenses.
Bengals and the Browns getting ready for the kickoff as we head out right now live to FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. NFL has a special tribute for the 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina victims.
Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the 4th anniversary of the national tragedy that took place on September 11th, 2001. To honor the memories of those who were lost on that day and the resolve of everyone affected by the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, please rise and welcome Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plains. America, oh America, God shed his grace on thee.
set me up? Are you out of your mind? My marriage has been over for 12 hours.
You can't live in the past, Ben.
Out of Practice. Series premieres CBS Monday, September 19th. In 4 days, 2 past survivors are coming back. Who are they? Find out on the premiere CBS Thursday.
The Bengals versus the Browns today at 1 on 10 TV.
Weeknights at 11. The relevant stories you care about, delivered in a way like no one else can. The new 10 TV Night Beat. Angela Pace, Jerry Revish, Andrea Camburn. 5 nights a week. 3 trusted anchors. 1 clear choice. No other station dedicates this much experience to bring you developing and breaking news nightly. The new 10 TV Night Beat. Another first for Central Ohio, only from WBNS 10 TV, Central Ohio's news leader.
The Ohio State Buckeyes football team, part of the Big Ten Conference since 1912. This year, the team will face many opponents. This is not just another season. This is 10 TV, with more highlights, more interviews, more of the Buckeye coverage you can't live without. All-American Jeff Hogan, the legendary Dom Taveri, and rookie sensation Dan Bronzak. Buckeye Blitz on 10 TV. It's game time.
I know I was speeding, officer, but...
Can I see your license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
Yeah, you need to see proof of insurance?
Is there a problem, ma'am?
Yeah, I don't have car insurance.
That's a problem, all right.
Driving uninsured is a crime you can solve with one phone call.
Play it safe. 1-800-SAVE-AUTO. Play it safe, auto.
Strip steaks, chopsticks, potato cakes, pancakes, stuffed peppers, Reuben platters, country ham and gravy. TJ scrambled, barnyard buster, haystacks, down yonder, eggs and sausage, western omelets, biscuits, and good eating. Fried steak, ribeyes, crispy chicken, crispy fries, roast beef, can't wait to eat, biscuits and gravy.
At TJ's Country Place, we have a whole bunch of great food.
And you can get it for a song.
Double H platter, quarter pounder, roast turkey, meatloaf platter, homemade soups, great salad, scrambled eggs and gravy.
You pick your players. They play the games. And you could win up to $25,000. 10 TV Fantasy Football. Now playing at 10tv.com.
Imagine being the airline worker who checked in the 9/11 terrorists.
Do you still blame yourself?
Then, first on the scene as Princess Diana lay dying. Rumors put to rest. Next Oprah.
Monday at 4 on 10 TV.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
There is nothing quite like NFL kickoff weekend. CBS Sports coverage today from Cleveland, the Bengals and the Browns. Cleveland's got a new quarterback this year.
And his name is Trent Dilfer. He spent his last 4 seasons in Seattle as a backup. Now is the head man, has new life as a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And Chad Johnson, he returns to Cleveland where he struggled last year with 3 drop balls. He's been quiet all week, but you know he plans on speaking loud in this game here today.
The Pro Bowl performer trying to make a statement for the Bengals today. Browns hosting the Bengals. The kickoff is next in the Battle of Ohio on CBS.
Subway restaurants present Fresh Starts, a look at teams determined to taste victory this season. Subway, eat fresh.
After their success last year, Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger and the Chargers' Drew Brees look to prove they're not just a couple of one-hit wonders in 2005.
Drew Brees, he is amazing.
While New England's Tom Brady looks to stay #1 as the Patriots go for their 3rd straight Super Bowl victory.
And the Patriots are world champions again.
Mr. Fogel, no denying your body's changed over the years.
Yes.
Sir, this committee must know, did you ingest anything that helped create this change in your physique?
Yes.
Go on.
Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delight for dinner.
You get those over the counter?
Yes, at a Subway restaurant.
What is this? Thanks. We're going to need more evidence.
Am I free to go?
What a glorious day it is in Cleveland. 80 degrees, sunny skies, and perfect conditions for NFL kickoff weekend 2005. Browns have won the toss. They will receive. Cincinnati will kick off with Shane Graham. Bengals coming off an 8-8 season. Browns were 4-12 1 year ago and made changes during the offseason, including their head coach and a new general manager, respectively Romeo Crennel and Phil Savage, formerly of Baltimore. Josh Cribbs, rookie from Kent State, along with Corey McIntyre, a first-year pro from West Virginia. Romeo Crennel, 35 years in coaching, 24 as an assistant in the NFL, and he gets his opportunity beginning today as a head coach. NFL kickoff 2005. Graham on the kick for Josh Cribbs. Here's the rookie on the return, gets spun around, loses the football. Scrum for it as the Browns were in position to recover it, just shy of the 20-yard line. Trent Dilfer, 12th year pro, coming over from Seattle. Dilfer, everybody remembers back to 2000 when he was 11-1 as a starter for Baltimore. That's 5 years ago. And now Dilfer's going to get his opportunity as a starter in this league once again.
Said he had a lot to prove. Felt like he still needed a challenge, and he's going to get it here. Had a really cushy job there in Seattle backing up Matt Hasselbeck.
And he's got some weapons to work with. We'll take a look at the starting lineups in a moment. First play from scrimmage. On the handoff, Reuben Drones breaking a tackle and cutting to the outside. Drones his first carry as a Brown. Cut down by Madieu Williams. It's a 24-yard rip and a good block from wideout Antonio Bryant. Let's take a look at the starting offense. Joe Andruzzi, the first call they made in free agency to bring him over from New England, part of that new look offensive line. And there is Drones, acquired in a trade with Denver, went over 1,200 yards rushing last year for the Broncos, and what a start in a Browns uniform for his first touch. Double tight end set on first down. Drones, and he gets ridden down. The rookie, Odell Thurman from Georgia. What an electrifying linebacking talent. The second-round pick. Gives us a chance to look at the defense for Cincinnati. Brian Robinson, veteran presence, coming over as a free agent. There is Odell Thurman. They have just loved the way that he plays with attitude as a rookie. Torrey James, New Orleans native, a lot of it on his mind. The Pro Bowler from last year had 8 interceptions in 2004, helping to anchor that secondary. On second down, Dilfer throwing for the first time. And complete to Antonio Bryant. Looks like it'll be just shy of a first down as Bryant worked himself free with the linebacker Johnson and the safety Williams in on the stop.
And they're going to get pressure on Trent Dilfer, but this is his experience in leadership, understanding, get rid of the football, don't hold on to it. And he told us in his meeting, said, hey, I got to get the ball to Antonio Bryant, and he is a phenomenal, very gifted receiver. Remember, he was a Biletnikoff Award winner coming out of Pittsburgh after the trade from the Dallas Cowboys. What a find in Antonio Bryant.
And you think he's going to have a big year.
I really do believe so.
3rd and 1 for Cleveland. They are in Cincinnati territory. First possession. On the flea flicker. Dilfer looking long. Puts it up top and knocked away. Unable to get it to Dennis Northcutt cleanly. Delta O'Neal with the coverage, and Cleveland taking a chance. A gamble on a 3rd and 1 with a long ball.
Well, he actually should have come over here to the other side of the field, because he actually had Antonio Bryant wide open. Instead, he saw him, but then he decides to go all the way clear back to the other side. And that play is going to be covered by Delta O'Neal. Nearly intercepted the pass, but had he went up top, could have actually had a touchdown had he thrown it to Antonio Bryant.
How about this? Romeo Crennel, his first series as an NFL head coach, and they are going for it on 4th and 1. Clock, though, is winding down. Play clock has hit 0. Bengals want a flag. Did the Browns get the timeout that they needed?
And they got the flag down.
Well, this will make the decision.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Scott Green, 15th year in the NFL, his first year as a full-time referee. Stepped in for Johnny Greer last year when he went down with an injury. Greer now with the league office.
I was impressed with the Cleveland Browns offense on that series. You could see they came out with a new look using their 3 wide receiver package. I thought they had the Bengals defense very much off balance and had an opportunity to hit some big plays.
But some indecision there in making the call on whether to go for it on 4th down and to send the play in. Instead, they'll punt it after the penalty. Kyle Richardson, the veteran, in his first year as a Brown. T1 Ratliff, the return man, comes forward from the 17. Ratliff makes a cut. And Ratliff across the 25-yard line. A 10-yard return as Josh Cribbs makes the play on special teams. We'll see the Cincinnati offense for the first time here in 2005 when we come back. Early stages, first quarter here in Cleveland. We will see the Cincinnati offense with Carson Palmer, first Bengal quarterback since Jeff Blake back in '96-97 to start back-to-back opening days. That lack of stability in past years, looking to change that in Cincinnati. Handoff. Chris Perry getting the start. Second year out of Michigan. Rudy Johnson announced earlier today that he would not start because he broke an unspecified team rule. Loss of 1 on the play. Let's take a look at the Cincinnati offense. Big Willie Anderson. This is the same offensive line from a year ago, and that's going to help this Cincinnati offense. There is Perry getting the nod over Johnson, but we do expect to see Rudy Johnson here today. Johnson coming off a career year, setting club records in rushing yardage and attempts. Handoff. Perry did not play much last year. Chris Perry, a sports hernia, kept him out of action for the majority of the year. That's a 3-yard gain. The speedy Perry getting an opportunity today. Defensively for Cleveland, Orpheus Roy, underrated talent. He has been so solid in his time in Cleveland. Linebackers have made some changes. Matt Stewart comes over as a free agent from Atlanta. In the secondary, Lee Vaughton getting the start. Gary Baxter, the big free agent signing from Baltimore, not playing today because of a concussion. This is a 3rd and 7 for Cincinnati. Palmer looking to put it in the air for the first time. Flushed out of the pocket. Floats one on the run and out of bounds. 3 and out for the Bengals as Sean Thompson, raw talent out of Weston, Texas A&M, provided the rush.
Yeah, he had the pressure, but actually Chris Perry, the running back, I thought he did a good job in blitz protection in picking up Sean Thompson. I think Carson Palmer could have hung in the pocket that time, but instead he decided to escape to his right, gave Thompson a chance to run him down, forcing the bad throw.
Second-year punter Kyle Larson will boot it to the always dangerous Dennis Northcutt, standing at his own 24-yard line. Browns defense, strong first effort here in 2005. Larson's punt, spiral to Northcutt, returnable. Northcutt finds a lane, cuts it to the outside, flag throw, Northcutt down the sideline. Dennis Northcutt takes it the distance. Penalty marker back at the 39-yard line.
It's going to come back, but he could be a threat all day because this guy, every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to take it to the house. And what you're seeing, this Cleveland offense, every time they played the Bengals, even the last time they faced each other,
in the back.
A lot of points.
During the return, number 36, 10-yard penalty, first down.
73-yard return is negated. Illegal block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. But you can see he's cutting back, does a good job of weaving through traffic. Don't quite see the poor block. But this guy is a threat to take it to the house. Dennis Northcutt has excellent vision.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. Budweiser, the bright color and crisp clean taste you'll only find in the king of beers. And by Wachovia, wherever you are financially, we're right there with you.
Cincinnati avoids calamity on special teams. Dennis Northcutt of the Browns, 77 yards away from breaking the club record for career punt return yardage, and nearly done it on one play.
Well, that record's going down. There's no doubt.
It's going down today.
It may go down today.
On a 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Handoff, Reuben Drones trying to push the pile. No Lee Suggs today, who was penciled in as a possible starter at running back. And Suggs sitting this one out with a high ankle sprain. And the Browns, last year, 1,657 yards as a team. Curtis Martin and Sean Alexander better than that individually.
And they've always gotten it done by committee, and they're going to try to get it done by committee again this year, whether it's Reuben Drones. We're going to see William Green and Lee Suggs inactive today with an ankle injury, but they're going to use 3 running backs throughout the season.
How about 3 in the backfield for this 2nd and 8? Play action. Dilfer. Ball was tipped and caught. So Dilfer able to make the connection on what looked to be a tip ball to Antonio Bryant, and it covers 6 yards through the air.
Well, I have news for the Bengals. Trent Dilfer is going to throw the ball to Antonio Bryant. You might want to cover him, might want to cover him tighter than this. With that ball tipped, it should give the secondary a little bit better opportunity to make a play on the ball. Antonio Bryant just does an excellent job of coming back to the ball and getting the ball caught in front of Torrey James. Still good coverage by James, but still needs to be even tighter.
Well, last time on a 3rd and 1, they went up top. This is a 3rd and 1, a long one, as they operate from the 39-yard line. Dilfer has the time. Dilfer throwing, makes the connection to Bryant. The chemistry is obvious in the early going as Bryant works his way into Cincinnati territory. 19-yard hookup.
Well, Torrey James has been battling a foot injury, and I think Trent Dilfer knows it because they're going at it. He stumbled out of the break, wasn't able to make the tackle on Antonio Bryant. We told you he's going to have a big year. Now, it looks like he may have a big day here against the Bengals. Remember, the last time these 2 teams played, it was all offense and no defense.
58-48, the final last year at Paul Brown Stadium, 2nd highest scoring game in NFL history. And off, Drones has an opening. Reuben Drones running off tackle. Strong block by Terrell Smith, the fullback, and that's a 7-yard gain for Drones.
Well, the left side, it's all new. Joe Andruzzi at guard, left tackle, L.J. Shelton, and they just come here and they get the block, and they're just going to hammer it. And this is what Romeo Crennel said he loves about Reuben Drones. Excellent body lean, a powerful inside runner. You see they get movement on the left side of that Bengals defensive line. And so when you get the movement up front, you're going to give your running back some room to run and get to the 2nd level.
They continue to move the football in the Cincinnati defense on the quick toss to Northcutt, creating after the catch. And angled out of bounds, working on Delta O'Neal. That's a 5-yard gain.
They're going to get it over to Dennis Northcutt because he's excellent in space. Difficult to tackle. See Delta O'Neal using the sideline. He understands. Hard to corral Northcutt, but if you can use that sideline as an extra man, it gives you a good angle to push him out of bounds. Live to fight another day. Yeah, they pick up the 1st down, but Cleveland's showing excellent momentum and good chemistry on offense early in the game.
We've seen Braylon Edwards, the rookie out of Michigan, on about 3 or 4 plays. He's out there right now operating out of the slot. Play action. Dilfer throwing, deep ball, looking for the touchdown. It's caught. Bryant, but out of bounds. Over the shoulder grab against Torrey James, but led him just a bit too far.
Oh, Antonio Bryant, very dangerous. Now watch Torrey James. He really does understand where he's at on the field. Now, he's going to get his head around to find the ball, but now you got to keep running. Keep running through the ball as if you were the receiver, and you can see just another 2 yards to the back of that end zone, and this is a touchdown for Antonio Bryant. But you can see he's able to get behind the defensive back. He's been getting open the entire first quarter. Torrey James is going to have to get down and play better technique, start making plays on the ball.
Nickel package now for Cincinnati. Keywan Ratliff is out there. 2nd and 10 for Cleveland. Dennis Northcutt. Good for 8 yards as Cleveland continues to impress. We head to New York. Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, we'll take you to Kansas City, where the Chiefs hit the Jets hard early on. Priest Holmes, a 35-yard gain. Larry Johnson follows it up from 35 yards out. The Chiefs' first touchdown of the year. They lead the Jets 7-0 in the first. Ian and Solomon, back to you.
Oh, well, nobody's going to doubt that Kansas City offense, though all the questions are going to be on defense.
And no one's doubting Larry Johnson anymore either.
3rd and 2. Cleveland, 4 receivers. Dilfer rolling underneath, good enough for the first down. Crossing the 20-yard line, able to get the big tight end Steve Hayden involved. Kellen Winslow, it was supposed to be his spot for Romeo Crennel, but we know what happened with Winslow in a serious motorcycle accident in May.
Yeah, and you can see they're really keeping the Bengals defense off balance, whether it's the run play with Reuben Drones, a number of different receivers they're getting the ball to. Braylon Edwards, Dennis Northcutt, Antonio Bryant is the primary weapon in the passing game, and Steve Hayden catching the ball. So many guys you can go to really have the Bengals defense off balance at this point in the game.
Dilfer on the handoff. Drones spins his way to the 11-yard line. 6 yards for Drones as David Pollock, the rookie, was trying to bring him down.
And he's going to make the tackle, Brian Robinson, but he doesn't make it until he gets somewhere around here on the football field. And he's the new addition to this defensive line. Brian Robinson, very strong. You see him coming off, making the tackle right there, but boy, very difficult. It's actually David Pollock who makes the tackle, but not until he's able to get to the second level on that defense.
Now a 2nd and 4 for the Browns. Motion man is Northcutt. Keep it on the ground, and Drones runs into a crowd. 1-yard gain. Brian Robinson is there to make sure Drones doesn't do further damage. As Cleveland has had its way on this possession, they're trying to translate that into some points.
And Drones already with 41 yards rushing. You see their offensive coordinator, Maurice Carthon, former running back himself with the New York Giants, has a Super Bowl ring. He is going to run the football. Yeah, they have excellent receivers outside, but Maurice Carthon will not get away from the running game. And they're going to pound this Bengals defense, and they're going to pound it in between the tackles.
The 11th play of the drive, a critical 3rd and 3 with a double tight end set. Drones releases out of the backfield. Dilfer will put it in the air. Dilfer throws off the ricochet. And the Browns come up with it. Cozy Coleman, the right guard. That one came off umpire Jim Quirk.
And I'm impressed with the fact that he did not allow the ball to get intercepted. But more importantly, Cozy Coleman made the catch himself and was looking to do some damage after the catch.
Coleman won a Super Bowl ring with Tampa Bay. And a flag on that play as the ball came off veteran umpire Jim Quirk.
Oh, yeah, it caught him right on the noggin.
Now, is he allowed to touch? I don't think Coleman can touch the ball in that spot.
Well, the ball hit the official, and so he's a live player. Let's see what the call is.
So 4th down, illegal touch. And Cleveland now forced to settle for the field goal. So a bad break off the deflection as Dilfer was trying to throw for the first down at least, if not for the touchdown, what Cleveland was focused in on.
They're calling it an illegal touch because it's as if it hits the official, it's as if it hit no one. So they're saying that the offensive lineman was the first one to touch the ball, and we know that the quarterback, it's illegal to throw the ball to one of your down linemen. But had the ball been intercepted, the Bengals would have been awarded the football. So still an excellent play by Coleman, even though they're forced
to kick the field goal. Phil Dawson, inconsistent preseason, normally reliable, and he bangs this one through from 29 yards away to give the Browns a 3-0 lead. Now the Cleveland offense does its job, but unable to cash in for the touchdown. They'll settle for 3. They've got the early lead at home.
We started.
Phil Dawson now 16 of 18 career field goals against Cincinnati. That was a 12-play, 59-yard drive for the Browns and a 29-yard field goal as he kicks it off. Tad Perry, record-setting rookie from UCLA on the return. Here's Berry out across the 20-yard line, but not much more. Frisman Jackson down the field in a hurry to help make the play on special teams. 21-yard return. Carson Palmer and the Bengals take the field when we come back.
Look, anyway.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chevy, the new Chevrolets, an American revolution. And by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Cleveland with a 3-0 lead over Cincinnati. 4:31 to play in this first quarter. Rudy Johnson of the Bengals now on the field, so he is back out there for the second series of the day for Cincinnati. For Cleveland, no Matt Stewart. We've been told a right knee injury. His return is questionable. The outside linebacker. Little trickery, and it's Chad Johnson trying to cut to the outside, and Johnson forced down as he crossed the 30. That's an 11-yard run for Johnson. Well, the victims of Hurricane Katrina are never far from our thoughts, so we encourage everyone to give generously to the relief efforts. You can help by calling this number, 1-800-HELP-NOW, or logging on to www.redcross.org. First down for the Bengals. Clock is running in this first quarter. Double tight end set. Kelly and Stewart for Cincinnati. Chris Palmer, good protection. Strong throw. Making a cut is Johnson. Actually lost some yardage by trying to cut around the defender. We'll give him an 8-yard gain as Chris Crocker will be given credit for the stop.
And so as Cleveland looked to get the ball to their top receiver, Antonio Bryant, the Bengals featuring Chad Johnson in the second drive. Already one of a reverse play on the first play from snap, and then they go out and flip the ball out to him. Very close to picking up the first down. He's a threat to take it to the house anytime he touches the ball.
2nd and 2 now for Cincinnati, just shy of the 40-yard line. On the ground, first touch, Rudy Johnson, and a first down. Able to find that opening, and Sean Thompson, who steps in as an every down linebacker now with Stewart on the sideline, makes the stop.
Yeah, Rudy just has excellent vision. Watch how he commits to the inside, but then slides it to the left, finding the opening, cutting back against those fast-flowing linebackers for the Cleveland Browns. I think it's important to get Rudy off to a good start, dominate with the offensive line, and force the Cleveland Browns safeties to commit to the box and then go up top with the play-action pass.
Went over 200 yards rushing the last time these two teams played. Palmer throwing on first down to T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Got the 4-year contract during the offseason worth $13 million. Bengals making the decision to let Peter Warrick go, who eventually signs with Seattle because Houshmandzadeh had locked down that number 2 receiver spot.
Yeah, he locked it down at the end of last year. See the numbers he put up. And he's been the guy that really, he got a new contract in the offseason and allowed the Bengals coaching staff and the front office to change their minds, understanding they have a number of weapons to go to for Carson Palmer.
In Cleveland territory, a 2nd and 1. On the quick dart for Kevin Walter, and that's a first down. Walter in his 3rd year from Eastern Michigan. They have so many weapons on offense, and we talked to Marvin Lewis, Solomon, about it. Kind of gave us that Gordon Gekko from Wall Street thought process. Greed is good, but don't be selfish.
Don't be selfish. He talks about the number of players they can get the ball to. Kevin Walter's a guy that had an excellent preseason. We know Chad Johnson's going to put up big numbers, but look for Chris Perry to also catch the ball out of the backfield because he's just yet another weapon for Carson Palmer.
From the 42. Open man, Rudy Johnson doesn't get a lot of catches in this offense. Had only 15 a year ago. But that one's good for 5 yards as Bodden and Thompson combined to bring him down.
This is just the back release, and Carson wants to go down the field, but understanding the timing of the pass play, get the ball out of your hands, allow your receivers and the running back out of the backfield to make a play. I like the fact he got the ball to Rudy Johnson, enough time for him to make a play and make a move on the defender.
How about Perry? Chris Perry set up as a receiver in the slot. So another new look for Cincinnati on a 2nd and 5 under a minute to go in the first. Palmer, handoff. Johnson powering his way. All the white jerseys swarm as Johnson looks to have enough for the first down. That's a 5-yard gain. Rich Bram with a good block up front.
Yeah, with the spread formation. See, it's just like a zone block play. And Rudy, you see, he'll start here, then cut it back. Has the vision and the opportunity to just find the soft spot in the defense. You see him there, he pushes it and then cuts it back to where the soft areas are, running behind that right side of the offensive line. Bobby Williams, Willie Anderson, the veteran, getting movement up front.
Down to 13 seconds to play in the first quarter. Here is Palmer with a deep drop. Palmer floats one out for Chad Johnson, and he's out of bounds. With 7 seconds to go in this opening quarter, that's a 14-yard gain.
Oh, this is when you know Carson Palmer is growing up. See, they're locked in man-to-man coverage, and look at the space given by Dalen McCutcheon on Chad Johnson. They blitzed the safety that time, and Palmer, yeah, he's a young quarterback, but remember, Kennard Lang said, here's a guy, he doesn't get scared when you blitz him. Has the poise and the commitment to hang in there and get the ball down the field to his receiver.
End of the first quarter, Cleveland leads it 3-0.
I'm in the finals. That's awesome.
Yes, it is. Andre Agassi battles #1 Roger Federer for the U.S. Open Men's Championship today on CBS.
It's not too late to run your fantasy league with CBS Sports Line's Fantasy Football Commissioner. Start your free trial today by clicking on Fantasy Football at CBSSportsLine.com. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, the rest of our CBS crew, NFL kickoff weekend, joining you from Cleveland. Cincinnati threatening, trailing 3-0 as we start play in the second quarter. And a 1st and 10 from the Browns 18. Chris Perry in the backfield for the Bengals. On the toss. Here's Perry looking for the angle. And spilled out as he hit the sideline after the gain of 5. Chased down by Sean Thompson, who's got good size and speed along the perimeter.
And throughout the preseason, they use Chris Perry as a receiver out of the backfield. But when I talk with the offensive coordinator, Bob Bratkowski, says, hey, we're going to have to run it some with him in there, too. Can't tip our hand and only show the defense Chris Perry catching the ball. So he's going to get some opportunities to carry the ball along with Rudy Johnson all season long.
10th play of the drive, now a 2nd and 5 for the Bengals. In motion, Hushmanzada. Toss, they'll try the other side with Rudy Johnson. Banging his way inside the 5. Browns claim they've got the football. It is placed at the 5-yard line, an 8-yard gain. Andre Davis was holding the ball, but Cincinnati maintains possession.
Well, it's a well-ran play. Watch how they just block down and cave in that entire side. Even the receivers are blocking, and then they pull the guard and tackle to the right side. Williams and Willie Anderson getting out in front of the running game. Don't know if he fumbled the ball, but certainly very difficult to bring down. Rudy Johnson pushing the pile forward.
So instead of a turnover, we're talking about a 1st and goal. Play fake, throwing, incomplete, and a flag thrown. Chad Johnson leaping, trying to make the catch.
Looks like they're going to call pass interference on Dalen McCutcheon.
Interference, defense, number 23. Penalty occurred in the end zone. Ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. 1st down.
Ray Mickens. Ray Mickens locked in man-to-man coverage against Chad Johnson. Look, makes a play on the ball. I don't see where there was contact, but certainly Chad Johnson's going to let us know about it.
1st and goal from the 1. Go to the power game, and it's Rudy Johnson in for the touchdown. Rudy Johnson from 1 yard away had 12 rushing touchdowns a year ago. And Cincinnati has taken the lead.
Well, we told you if they were going to get off to a fast start, it was going to happen with the offensive line dominating up front. Remember, this is a new scheme for the Cleveland Browns on defense. I still think they're very soft at the nose tackle position. And so the Bengals, when you return all 5 starters on your offensive line, you should come out dominating, getting the push like what you saw on that goal line play.
11 plays, 79 yards, and Shane Graham on for the extra point. Bengals 7, Browns 3 early on in this second quarter. Rudy Johnson got the big contract, paying off early.
One mind, one team, one heart, one player through the hole, one goal from the start to dominate the art of the black and blue and watch the Super Bowl dreams till they all come true.
The NFL on CBS. Cincinnati leading Cleveland 7-3. Ruben Jones now returning kicks. Josh Cribbs, a left knee injury. His return is questionable. And Jones busting through across the 40-yard line. Shane Graham, the kicker, had to put his hat in there. A 35-yard return. Good field position for Cleveland to open up this drive. When we return. An 11-play, 79-yard drive for the Cincinnati offense, giving the Bengals the lead. Carson Palmer on that drive, 5 for 5, 41 yards. Cleveland ball. William Green in, but not in the backfield, set up as a receiver. Empty backfield on 1st and 10. On the quick throw, Dennis Northcutt making one-man miss and able to pick up 6 yards with David Pollock making the tackle. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. Greg, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and special guest Jerry Rice. All the latest NFL scores and highlights, and a special preview of the U.S. Open Men's Championship. Roger Federer and Andre Agassi is coming up on the Sprint halftime report. See Jerry in the pregame, looking good, looking like he could still get out there and play.
I saw too much of Jerry when I played.
That was in another life, another time.
No doubt.
2nd and 5 with Green in the backfield. Draw play. Green looking to accelerate, and not much there. He picks up a couple as Cincinnati was able to make the play defensively. Let's go to New York right now. An update with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, once again, the Chiefs. This time it's Priest Holmes around the left side for 3 yards. Did he get into the end zone before he was down? The official says yes. They've added a field goal. 17-0 Chiefs over the Jets. Second quarter, guys.
How about that? Kansas City off to the hot start against the Jets defense, which was much improved last year.
More impressed with the defensive effort. No points for the Jets so far.
Good point. 3rd and 3, some movement. And no penalty markers down as Dilfer carried it himself.
And Dilfer may have lost the ball before he was down.
That looked awkward from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have the ball.
And Dilfer now jawing at Medea Williams. Bengals claim that they've got it. And they do.
They have it. It appeared to be a busted play, but it was a quarterback draw. Dilfer trying to make a play after the snap and end up losing the ball before he hit the ground.
Keywan Ratliff on the recovery right at midfield. Cincinnati takes over.
Life doesn't.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. Rethink TV. Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, where improving home improvement never ends. And by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
And it was John Thornton who actually stripped the ball from Trent Dilfer, causing the fumble, and the ball did actually come out before Dilfer's knee hit the ground.
So Cincinnati takes over a 1st and 10 at the 49. Play fake. Palmer has the time. Throwing the deep ball. A little bit of separation and incomplete. Chad Johnson in a collision with Brian Russell. That ball hung up there for quite some time, allowing Russell to come back to make the play.
Well, we know Carson Palmer can stretch the field with his arm strength, and Chad Johnson gets on top of Brian Russell. Brian Russell just gets lucky. Look at the timing. He just throws his arm right into Chad Johnson, Just so happened he gets there at the perfect time as the ball arrives. Normally, if you make that play without looking back, it's for certain a pass interference penalty, so Brian Russell lived to tell about it.
Now a 2nd and 10. Bengals took advantage of turnovers last season, turning them into points. Play fake again. Palmer, sideline throw for a first down. It's Johnson on the other side of the field as he worked the right side on the last play. That one covers 14 yards into Cleveland territory.
Lee Botton is just giving a lot of room over there to Chad Johnson. You know, these Cleveland Browns defensive back, they were giving all kinds of respect to Chad Johnson, refusing to get up in his face and challenge him. Look at the runoff technique, but look at all the room there. Botton doesn't even come into the picture until the ball is caught by Chad Johnson.
And a 1st and 10 at the Browns 38. Palmer on the give. Rudy Johnson spin move as he hits the 30-yard line and got cut down by Chris Crocker, a gain of 7. It's not too late to sign up for fantasy football on NFL.com. Live or automated drafts, expert analysis, up-to-the-minute news. It's all free on NFL.com or NFL on AOL.
And the Bengals offense is totally different with Rudy Johnson in there. Did not play in the first series, but since he's come into the game, this offense has really hit its stride. And you can see they're just picking up chunks of yards every time they snap the ball.
Now it's 2nd and 3 from the 30. Johnson again. First down and much more. Sticks the helmet down as he comes up just shy of the 15. And another key block from Rich Bram in the middle of that offensive line. That's a 13-yard run.
And it's very simple. It's just power blocking, and then he finds a hole. It's his vision, and then, you know, an excellent balance. They can't get him on the ground. You see Willie Anderson coming off on the linebacker, and see he knows the run right behind his Auburn teammate, Willie Anderson, and from there he's just into the second level and into the secondary where he's very difficult to tackle.
Chris Perry now out there. And on the inside handoff, again, they look with that trickery feel, and Chris Perry goes up the middle for a couple.
And so often you hear people talk about a change of pace in between running backs from Rudy Johnson to Chris Perry. Chris Perry is more darting, more of a slasher, but I like the pace in which Rudy Johnson runs the ball. You can tell he's more patient, he's more calm, more under control, using better vision. That just comes with experience. I think Chris Perry will learn that. He'll learn the flow of the defense and understand not to overrun the play and how to set up his blocks.
On the 2nd and 8, a lot of movement on offense. Throw to T.J. Hushmanzada. And Hushmanzada, who came behind Palmer and then released to make the catch, did a lot of work to pick up just 2 yards. Why is Cincinnati taking advantage of this Cleveland defense right now? What's not happening for the Browns?
I think right now, you know, this is a new defense. They're playing that 3-4 defense, and right now the secondary, you know, they're using a cover 2. They're playing a lot of zones, and even in man-to-man, very difficult to match up with so many weapons for the Bengals. But give the Bengals credit. They're keeping the defense off balance with different personnel groupings and by getting the ball to more than just Chad Johnson and using the other players.
On a 3rd and 6, rush is coming. Palmer gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Matt Schobel. Nick Spiegel had the hit on the quarterback. He's the rookie from New Mexico.
Spiegel's the blitzing linebacker. They couldn't pick him up. But Carson stands in the pocket and gets rid of the ball. Matt Schobel not able to bring it down. Just overthrowing just a hair. But you have to give Carson Palmer credit. Did stand in there, stand in the pocket. Schobel's got to find a way to go up to the next level and make that catch.
32-yard field goal for Shane Graham. Larson will hold it. Trying to extend the lead, and Graham gets it to go. 10-3 Cincinnati. So Romeo Crennel's defense does not give up the touchdown, but unable to push Cincinnati back after the turnover. Cincinnati turns it into 3. Cincinnati Bengals, 14 straight years without a playoff appearance. Have to go back to 1990. And the Bengals trying to reverse that trend. And really the key, and listen, Solomon, every team says this, got to get off to a good start. But for Cincinnati, So important considering what's happened the last 2 years. 1-4 to begin the season.
And lack of consistency at the quarterback position is one of the primary reasons.
Reuben Drones with a flag thrown as he is spun down at the 18-yard line by Kevin Walter. Not a lot of penalties to speak of in this first half. This one's going to work against Cleveland, though. Scott Green sorting it all out.
Going to run back, holding, 58, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
That is Ben Taylor, the linebacker, called for the hold. And the Browns will be pinned back deep in their own territory to start this drive. 10-3, Cincinnati leads it.
15 years.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new Sprint. Sprint. Yes, you can. And by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40.
Hot day here in Cleveland with Cincinnati in front, 10-3, 8:41 to play until halftime. And the Browns with a 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line. A double tight end set. Steve Hyden and Billy Miller will be picked up in the preseason. Handoff, William Green. Wow. And he gets smacked by Odell Thurman. Coming up after football, #1 in the world, Roger Federer takes on the legend, Andre Agassi, the U.S. Open Men's Championship, right here on CBS. Federer, the question, can anyone stop that man? Right now, I'm not sure that Cleveland can stop Odell Thurman.
Well, Roger Federer is a big hit, but that hit by Odell Thurman just then, we can hear it and even feel it way up here in the booth.
A 1-yard gain for Green, now a 2nd and 9. Draw play, Green again. And he took another shot as he came up the middle by Odell Thurman, a 3-yard gain.
Well, Antonio Bryant has certainly made his presence felt in this ball game here today. Already 3 catches for 34 yards, just giving Torrey James and the Bengals defense fits in that secondary. And so they also missed him on a deep route. Almost caught the ball for a touchdown, just 1 yard to the back of the end zone, or he would have had the touchdown. But he is some player. I think he's going to have a big year for the Cleveland Browns.
We have seen flashes of brilliance from Bryant, a home run threat every time he's on the field. Had his run-ins with Bill Parcells in Dallas. Clean slate now in Cleveland. On 3rd down, a dart to Braylon Edwards, the rookie from Michigan, with his first NFL reception. And it's a 1st down for Cleveland.
He's exceptional. Braylon Edwards, and meeting him yesterday, it was a pleasure, because he said that, you know, Trent Dilfer has been really hard on him. And I said, well, how have you dealt with it? He says, well, it's been a humbling experience, but because his dad played in the NFL, he knew what to expect and knew it was really about Trent Dilfer trying to make him better. And he's responded. And that's why you're going to see him also have a big year.
From the 19, a 1st and 10 for the Browns. Green stays on the field. Play action. Dilfer throwing up top. High floater. Jump ball opportunity, and it's broken up. Dennis Northcutt matched up with Torrey James, incomplete.
And Torrey James played this deep ball much better than he did on the play to Antonio Bryant. Watch, you're going to see him get his head around, but he keeps moving his feet. See, he continues to run with the receiver, going up for the ball at its highest point. And Torrey James, he's over 6 foot tall, so he can get above a much smaller Dennis Northcutt. And that's why he wins the jump ball battle and able to break up that play.
James looked like the receiver on that play, and Northcutt had to play defense behind him.
Much better technique by Torrey James. That's why he had 8 interceptions last year.
Drones and Green now share the backfield on a 2nd and 10. Running play. Green finds a lane and stays on his feet to the 24-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain. Medea Williams, the stop. Well, throughout the season, CBS Sports will continue to bring you the latest scores. At the bottom of your screen, you see it with game tracks and stat tracks. In the upper right-hand corner, updated stats throughout the day from all the offensive players involved, including William Green, 4 carries, 11 yards. Game tracks and stat tracks. CBS Sports has got you covered.
How about tracking some of the plays made by the defense? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to management about that for you, on your behalf.
Thank you.
On 3rd and 5. Dilfer throwing situation. Over the middle, complete. Steve Hyden, second catch, and a first down. 7-yard gain as Thurman is jawing after the play.
Well, Steve Hyden is a guy, you know, Kellen Winslow is out, but Hyden, he can make plays over the middle of the field. Not that same deep kind of threat of a tight end that Kellen Winslow would bring to the table, but this guy is more than serviceable, understanding how to find the soft spots in the zone between Odell Thurman and Madieu Williams, picking up the first down.
Aaron Shea is out today with a shoulder injury, so it's Hyden and Miller at tight end. 5 receivers, spread formation, out of the shotgun, Dilfer. On first down, Dilfer protection, in stride. Frisman Jackson down the sideline. Jackson's got speed. Jackson will take it all the way for the touchdown. '68-yard catch and run.
We told you the Bengals had some weapons for Carson Palmer, but I got to tell you, I am very much impressed with the receiving core for the Cleveland Browns. Antonio Bryant, he can get it done. Braylon Edwards, we talked about Dennis Northcutt. Frisman Jackson is another guy going 68 yards, first touchdown of his career, but he understands how to find the house.
It almost looks like a tight end with the size that he brings. 6'3", 217 pounds as Dawson tacks on the extra point. And penalty markers come flying. We are tied at 10. 4th year out of Western Illinois, Frisman Jackson. Officials having a meeting out near the 10-yard line. Here's Scott Green once again.
Holding, 59, offense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the offense. 15-yard penalty, retry.
So they'll have to kick it again, and now more of a challenge for Phil Dawson.
But this Cleveland Brown offense, they are explosive. You know, normally when you bring in a new head coach like Romeo Crennel, you expect the defense to be ahead of the offense. But because they made the decision to keep Terry Robisky as part of this offensive football team, he coaches the receivers, but he's working along with the offensive coordinator, Maurice Carthon, they're still able to do some of the things that they did last year, and let's face it, at times they were very explosive. Remember, they ripped this Bengals defense for over 400 yards in total offense the last time they played and put up 48 points. So very capable. And now that you have a leader at the quarterback position like Trent Dilfer, you can see this offense sort of picking up where it left off last year, and even better with a much improved offensive line, Ian.
5th penalty of the day for Cleveland. And for Cincinnati, you know this is a sore point for Marvin Lewis. He came in with the defensive guru tag, and that's going to follow you around. He proved his worth in Baltimore, Washington, Pittsburgh before that. And they're still waiting in Cincinnati for this defense to take form and really grab hold to his system.
Oh, they changed defensive coordinators, said goodbye to Leslie Frazier, and brought in Chuck Brasnan, hoping the defense would improve.
A 35-yard extra point, and Dawson makes it look easy. So the Frisman Jackson touchdown has tied this one up at 10.
I want you to watch the defensive end. That's Brian Robinson. He's the guy that's going to drop into coverage, and as they bring the receiver across the formation, see, watch him drop, but then he'll step toward the line of scrimmage, allowing the receiver to clear to the other side and doesn't stay in his own coverage. Now watch the block by William Green. He pins the corner, allow Frisman Jackson to get to the sideline where speed does the rest. Trent Dilfer understands the soft spot in that zone, gets it to Jackson. But Brian Robinson, the defensive lineman who's not used to dropping into coverage, he had a shallow drop, didn't carry the receiver across the field. You pick up one block by William Green, it was enough for a touchdown.
Dilfer looks to the sky. And a fist pump for the veteran who has not started 16 games in a season since 1998. He was 2-0 last year as a starter. filling in for Hasselbeck in Seattle. You've got a young rookie, Charlie Fry, as his backup, popular player from Akron. But the hope is that they can protect Dilfer, keep him healthy, and get through this season with the veteran quarterback and the youngster learning by his side.
And he said, hey, I didn't take one day off this offseason. He said, I know that I have to be durable, stay healthy if we're going to have any chance of winning games. He says he wants to start every game this season. I think it's really going to help him if he can stay healthy.
Dawson to kick off. Tad Perry, Kenny Watson at deep. This will be Perry. The return man from UCLA. Flags down. As Perry came down shy of the 20, Ben Taylor in on the stop. Penalty marker is at the 24-yard line.
Holding, receiving team, during return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And first penalty of the day against Cincinnati. Marvin Lewis looking over in the direction. No number was given, so he can't throw all of his ire in any particular direction right now.
Well, it's a difficult penalty to accept because they had been doing good in that category until that was the first flag the Bengals had thrown against them today. But poor field position, starting off on their own 9-yard line inside the 10. So here's an area, Ian, where you have to be very careful with the football.
Kennard Lang trying to pump this crowd up. Ray Mickens is out there. And I do not see Dalen McCutcheon right now for Cleveland. First and 10, back in their own territory. Rudy Johnson trying to earn the tough yards up the gut. 2.5-yard gain. Andre Davis and Orlando Ruff with the stick. Tomorrow on The Late Show, Dave's All New with Dr. Phil. And later this month, don't miss Reese Witherspoon, Terry Hatcher, George Clooney, and much, much more. Dave's All New all this week on CBS. Good battle here in the first half. Cincinnati 10, Cleveland 10 with 4:27 to go in the second quarter. From the 13-yard line. Give it again to Johnson. And nowhere to run. Orpheus Roy there. Give him a gain of 1. Nick Eason in his third year from Clemson also getting involved.
See, whenever the defense understands that the offense is pinned down inside their own territory, they start to pin their ears back. And Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, understands it. You can be more aggressive. They're blitzing linebackers to try to blow up the running play. They're doing a number of different things in terms of stunning the defensive tackles. Anything to get penetration and really get pressure on the quarterback.
Crowd is alive out of the shotgun. Palmer throwing right at the marker. T.J. Hushmanzada.
They're going to give him the forward progress.
And a favorable spot will give Cincinnati a new set of downs to work with.
Big play for Carson Palmer. Understanding they're going to blitz him, come after him. You see Andre Davis coming right into the face of the quarterback. But Carson Palmer doesn't flinch. Still able to get the ball over to T.J. Hushmanzada. Romeo Crennel told us, hey, if you can put pressure in his face, we think the young quarterback might wilt. That time Carson Palmer stood in and took the heat.
First and 10 from the 20 and even 3 minutes to play in this first half. Johnson and Johnson in the backfield. This will be Rudy following Jeremy. Stays on his feet as he gets banged down after the gain of 7.5. They'll give him the 8 yards. Alvin McKinley in on the stop. You look at the numbers, Solomon, for Carson Palmer. He's 8 of 11, 64 yards. It plays into what Marvin Lewis was talking about with us yesterday, that he's told Carson, hey, you don't get more points for throwing the ball 5 or 10 more yards down the field. Take what the defense gives you.
Take a shot. And he's been doing that. You can see he's managing the ball game very well.
Second and 2. Handoff. Rudy Johnson. And he is down, but it's first down yardage for Cincinnati as he crossed the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 2, and it's going to carry us to the 2-minute warning. Bengals and the Browns all tied up first half. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. Greg Dan Shannon, Boomer, and special guest Jerry Rice. All the latest scores and highlights, and a special preview of the U.S. Open Men's Championship. Roger Federer against Andre Agassi here on CBS. That's coming up, the Sprint Halftime Report. And a 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for Cincinnati, trying to regain the lead before we hit the break. 4 receivers set for the Bengals. Palmer looks to put it in the air. Throwing wide open over the middle, Chad Johnson. And Johnson to the 45-yard line. 15-yard gain on the quick hitter.
And nothing right now is surprising Carson Palmer. They're going no huddle because he's in great rhythm. He understands where the defense is going to be. Nothing they're doing on defense right now is a surprise to him.
Out of the gun, rush. Nearly had that one picked off. John Thompson was in the right spot as Kennard Lang applied the pressure.
I think he was surprised by the pressure right here, coming right into his face. They get the hit on the quarterback, trying to get rid of it. It's one of the few times they were able to get a hit on Carson Palmer as he was throwing the ball. But, you know, he said he spent time with his quarterback coach, Ken Zampese, and the offensive coordinator, Bob Bratkowski, learning every defensive front, learning the role and the responsibility of every defensive player. And so his understanding this year is much greater than it was last season.
2nd and 10, play fake. Palmer, deep ball, sideline, caught! Lunging grab by Chad Johnson.
They may get Chad for a little push off there.
Working with Lee Bodden, and a flag thrown.
Chad wanted the ball, and he wanted it badly. Decided he'd give a little push to Bodden. This was going to come back,
interference,
and he knows it.
Offense, number 85, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And the key is that you have to get separation. This is where Chad Johnson, see, you have to get separation to get on top, but he waits for the ball. See the little push there? But excellent hands, the push and then the hands. I've seen Chris Carter do that time and time again and then get away with it. But now the officials are a little bit more clever, and I think Chris was more clever in his use of hands and then his body strength, able to get that push and still get separation without drawing the flag.
No Pepto-Bismol this year from Chad Johnson. That turned out to be a debacle last year when he sent it to the defensive backs of the Browns and then had his worst game of the season here in Cleveland. 2nd and 20. Crowd has really come alive, and time runs out on the play clock. So this drive has stalled in a big way for Cincinnati.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It would look like the Bengals were going to be adding points before the break. They're moving the wrong direction.
And what happened there? Nothing. It didn't surprise Carson Palmer, but he has to understand how to get everyone else on the same page, and that's what he was doing. Ran out of time, relaying the message to the offensive line and to the receivers, recognizing the blitzer and where he wants to go with the football.
So now the Bengals are facing a 2nd and 25. Play action. Palmer throwing over the middle. Caught by Hushmanzada. And spun down just before the 35-yard line. Rodney Poole, the rookie from Oklahoma, brings him down. The Bengals get it back. And they get it back on one play. A timeout taken. The big play capabilities of the Cincinnati offense on display.
Yeah, and you can watch the poise and the understanding of Carson Palmer. See, he knows where he wants to go with the ball. Waits for it to clear. Hushmanzada willing to go over the middle, take a lick from Brian Russell, and is still running with the football. You know, Brian Russell delivered the lick, but he was the guy that went down. So Hushmanzada showing you why he got the new contract, because he's a tough player, willing to go over the middle and sacrifice himself to make a huge play for this Bengals offense.
It covered 35 yards and put Cincinnati back in position to put points on the board. On a 1st and 10. Pump fake. Wow. Releasing as he throws, and it is complete to Kevin Walter.
There you go right here, ball.
Another 1st down for Cincinnati as he dives to the 20-yard line.
Carson Palmer reported to camp having lost 15 pounds. So it said he wanted to be lighter, more athletic. Did he not show athleticism on that play right there after the pump fake?
Under a minute to go. Palmer from the 20. Palmer throwing with confidence. brought in by Walter. He curls in for the touchdown.
Give it to Carson Palmer. Spreading the ball around. We saw him throw it over to Chad Johnson. Saw him throw it to T.J. Hushmanzada. Kevin Walter is a guy you're going to hear a lot of with the Cincinnati Bengals because he had an excellent training camp. He's a big, tough, physical wide receiver. They go right down the field, 89 yards, or I should say 91 yards on this drive for a touchdown. But Kevin Walter just powers his way into the end zone. And how good was Carson Palmer on that drive? Just flawless.
Poised and in command. First career touchdown for Kevin Walter. And Shane Graham the extra point. So just when you think the penalties are going to cost Cincinnati, that the Bengals will just settle for the halftime lead. A couple of big plays down the field, one to Hushmanzada, and then back-to-back to Kevin Walter, third year out of Eastern Michigan. Bengals back in front, 17-10, late second quarter.
It didn't come gentle into the world. Blacked out. Born with 2 fists in the wind. The new 6-speed Dynastreet Bob motorcycle. Let there be dark. Ride one now at your Harley-Davidson dealer.
Carson Palmer is 12 of 16, 149 yards and a touchdown. That throw to Kevin Walter, giving Cincinnati the 17-10 advantage. There's the 10-play, 91-yard drive. And Palmer on the drive, 92 yards because of the Cincinnati penalties, gave him an opportunity to put up even bigger numbers than the drive accounted for.
I think he's showing everybody why he won a Heisman Trophy and why the Bengals took him first overall in the draft, because he's a phenomenal talent. Now he has the mind and experience to go along with that powerful arm.
Reuben Drones weaving through traffic, then he crosses the 30-yard line. Time right now for the wisdom of Solomon.
Well, Ian, what offseason moves will prove to be most effective? We know Randy Moss already paid huge dividends on Thursday night against the Patriots, and the Minnesota Vikings have a revamped defense, bringing over veterans to help their cause. The Miami Dolphins with Nick Saban and the return of Ricky Williams, will it help them in the AFC East? And when you ship Drew Bledsoe out to Dallas and you turn your team over to J.P. Lossman, we'll have to see if that will help the Buffalo Bills. I think the Vikings' retooled defense will prove to be the most effective offseason move.
Always optimism, though, around the league when you start the season. Everybody feels like they've got a shot as Dilfer throws on first down to the 40-yard line, and Fridgman Jackson, who had the lone touchdown of the day for Cleveland. A timeout is taken with 34 seconds left in this first half.
Hey guys, ready to order?
I can't decide. Should I go with the wild or the mild 3-course menu?
That depends. Do you wear tighty whities?
Boxer briefs.
Paper or plastic?
Paper.
Wallet or man purse?
Wallet.
Brunettes or redheads?
Yes.
Hey diddle diddle.
The cat and the fiddle.
Cow jumped over the moon. I'd go wild. That's just me, I'm wild.
Go wild or mild with Friday's new 3-course menu. Choose from 6 appetizers, 12 entrees, and 2 desserts, all for just $12.99. Everyone could use more Fridays.
Now who wears the tidy whities?
Mondays this fall on CBS. We present a new comedy about a family of doctors who can't take care of themselves. Henry Winkler and Stockard Channing star in Out of Practice, premiering Monday, September 19th on CBS.
Another wisdom moment. That will be a great show.
Oh, you're already making the prediction.
I'm on board.
On 2nd and 2, it's Fridgman Jackson again. And he is spun down at the 45. He was trying to get to the sideline out of bounds. Medea Williams on the stop.
What you've seen is both offenses really be able to move the football. Other than the fumble by Trent Dilfer on the one drive, both offenses have really been on fire. And we already talked about the new scheme on defense for Cleveland, so their defense is a little behind. I think the Bengals, their defense, you know, they have some young players playing. David Pollock playing a lot, Odell Thurman. They're going to make some mistakes, and they're going to help out this Cleveland Browns offense a little bit today.
On 1st and 10, under 30 seconds to play. First half, Dilfer flushed out of the pocket. Dilfer forced to throw it away. John Thornton helping to chase down Trent Dilfer. And 21 seconds remain in this second quarter. Well, the goal for every team in the NFL, get to the Super Bowl and go out and win it. These are teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. It's hard to believe with Cleveland, all the history.
And I'm just proud to say none of the 3 teams I played for appear on that list. So I think I'm very fortunate. So not that I had anything to do with it.
You've made it about you here. Is that what you're saying? That the graphic
was speaking from one's own experience.
On the throw, Jackson again. So Jackson becoming a big part of this passing offense. Cleveland forced to use a timeout. They've got 1 remaining with 14 seconds left. And they're out near midfield. 17-10, Cincinnati leads it.
If they're going to put mayonnaise on a BLT, they should call it an MBLT. It's only right.
Well, in that case, they should call it a BBLT because of the bread.
No, in the sandwich world, bread is valve 347. The bread is a given.
Mayonnaise is a condiment. Condiments don't get initials.
Who made up that rule?
Connect instantly with Nextel walkie-talkies now from Sprint. Sprint. Yes, you can.
Marvin Lewis and Romeo Crennel were the defensive coordinators for 4 of the last 5 Super Bowl champions, now going head-to-head as head coaches in Week 1. 3rd and 2. Dilfer put it up high and mishandled. Antonio Bryant initially looked like he had brought it in, but did not get it cleanly. Kewan Ratliff in coverage for Cincinnati.
Well, he nearly caught the ball, but his intent was to try to get out of bounds to stop the clock. You can see him, he's got the ball. Now he's trying to hurry to get out of bounds and forgot to secure the catch. Wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland takes a shot. It's 4th and 2. They may take a knee, but they may also decide to take a shot with 9 seconds left to go in the game.
Well, the Browns still have 1 timeout remaining. The only risk here, if you turn it over on downs, the Cincinnati might have 1 shot in a Hail Mary scenario. They need about 15 yards for a field goal try. Wobbly pass, and it's too high. So with 5 seconds left, Cincinnati now gets the ball right about midfield. We'll see if this costs Romeo Crennel and company. It's a 1-shot scenario for the Bengals. So on a 4th and 2, trying to keep the drive going and maybe get into field goal range, Cleveland turns it over on downs.
This is why I thought they may try to go down the field with the ball. Could have easily burned off 9 seconds. Instead, only burning off 4 seconds, and as you said, giving the Bengals another opportunity to make a play.
Unless they have a 4-second 20-yard play, they're going to go for the home run ball. Home. John! Throwing the deep ball. High spiral short of the end zone and knocked down by Brodney Poole. So that's how the first half will end, with Carson Palmer putting on an impressive showing. 12 of 17, 149 yards, and a touchdown for Palmer in the first half for Cincinnati. For the Browns, first half under Romeo Crennel, the new head coach, and saw some positive things, especially on offense with Antonio Bryant shining at times, Frisman Jackson playing a role, Reuben Drones a strong start. But at the end of the half, Cincinnati has a 17-10 lead. Sprint halftime report is coming up here on CBS.
At Survivor.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, yes you can.
Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to our studios here in New York, the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, and we are pleased to be joined by Jerry Rice, former wide receiver in the National Football League. Let's run down the scores and highlights for you. We'll start, Boomer, with the Jets at Kansas City, where they've been totally outclassed.
Well, we talked about this, how difficult of an opening game this was going to be going into Arrowhead Stadium, as Larry Johnson goes down the left sideline, untouched for a touchdown. Donnie Henderson's got to be concerned by this. But how about this one? Priest Holmes, he's going to be scored a touchdown, but we'll see in the replay that this is not a touchdown, and the Jets elect not to go to the replay. Right there, he's down, ball has not crossed the goal line or broken the plane. 17-0. Chad Pennington's getting beat around pretty good, guys.
What do you think, Jerry?
I think it's a good football game, but it's hard to go into Arrowhead and try to get a win. And Kansas City is playing well right now, and we have to see what happens. You know, somehow they got to get back in the ball game. If not, you know, Kansas City going to blow them out completely.
Yeah, it gets a little noisy in Kansas City. Dan, Denver in Miami against the Dolphins.
And there's Nick Saban on the sideline, his first time on the sideline for the Miami Dolphins. And Gus Ferraro looked pretty good in the first half, except for this one right here. He gets knocked off a little bit, and Champ Bailey intercepts a ball, which leads to a fourth down stand by the Miami Dolphins. Zach Thomas and the boys come up big there, 6-3. Dolphins playing better than actually the score indicates.
Houston against the Buffalo Bills. Shannon.
1st and 10. J.P. Lossman in his first start. Up top to the speedster, Lee Evans. Flang him down hard. Buchanan settle for a Ryan Lindell field goal. 3-0 at this point, Buffalo. David Carr here doesn't find anything. He's going to scramble down to the 1. Sets up 4th and goal at the 1. Take matters into my own hand. Nobody can do it better than I can, says David Carr. He gets into the end zone, makes it 12-7. Tackle eligible. Jason Peters, 1-yard touchdown. 19-7, Buffalo.
Ryan Lindell having himself a good day. 19-7, Bills in the lead. Meanwhile, Tennessee at Pittsburgh, Dan.
And early on, Steve McNair with a nice little play action left, rolls to the right, finds Ben Troop wide open, breaks a tackle for a touchdown, pushes him up 7-0 early. Then Ben Roethlisberger does what he does best, rolls out, finding Heath Miller for a touchdown. Then another play action pass, sets up, he wants to go deep to Antoine Randall L. The safety misplays the ball, 63-yard touchdown. The Steelers are dominating right now. And then also here's an 11-yard touchdown run. Willie Parker, young kid who's in there for Jerome Bettis and Deuce Staley, having a great afternoon. The Steelers are taking advantage of the Tennessee
Willie
Titans.
Parker, 18 carries, 100 yards rushing. All of that helped Ben Roethlisberger, doesn't it?
Yes, without a doubt. And I think Ben, he's very comfortable back there right now. And, you know, he gave Randall L. an opportunity to make a play on the ball, and he did.
Cincinnati and Cleveland, Boomer.
How about Frisman Jackson? How about the Cincinnati defense?
You want to win? Put Frisman Jackson in.
You're exactly right. Nobody's there to tackle him. But I'll tell you what, Carson Palmer is showing why everybody in Cincinnati is so excited. Leading his team down in a 2-minute drill towards the end of the first half. Right here, he hits Kevin Walter for a touchdown. Bengals are up 17-10. Pretty good ball game right here between Trent Dilfer and Carson Palmer.
Elsewhere around the league, the Saints on the road beating the Panthers at halftime, 14-7. Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Also at halftime, the Bucs with a 10-point lead. The Chicago Bears in Washington. The Redskins lead it at the break 6-0. And Seattle is at Jacksonville, where at halftime the Jaguars lead it, or trail 14-13. Our sprint question of the week: who will be this year's surprise team? The Arizona Cardinals, you say, by 35%. We remind you, U.S. Open tennis follows football here on CBS with the men's championship between Roger Federer and Andre Agassi. And for more, let's go to Dick Enberg and Patrick McEnroe.
It's a perfect day here for a perfect final. The National Tennis Center, a capacity crowd will be rooting for Andre Agassi. Many recall his debut as a 16-year-old phenom with hair to spare. He's gone on to capture a pair of titles here and a world audience. Now at age 35, he's in his 6th U.S. Open final. Patrick McEnroe, it would be magical. It would be a dream for Agassi to win, but he's facing a nightmare across the net.
He sure is, Dick. It would be the biggest moment of his career if he could win this. But Roger Federer has been absolutely brilliant in the last year. This is one of the great records to me in the history of the game, how dominant he's been in the last year. 61-1 on hard courts, 12 titles, couple of majors, 22 straight finals. Andre's going to have to get off to a good start. He's been able to serve well, win some cheap points there, obviously get the crowd into it, as they like to say in the NFL, Dick, on any given Sunday.
So it'll be Andre Agassi, the sentimental favorite against Roger Federer, best in the world, looking to win back-to-back U.S. Opens. We'll have it for you right after football.
Tennis follows football here on CBS. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Second half of your game coming up after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, yes you can.
Hurricane Katrina has ravaged Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama, places that we call home. Hundreds of thousands of people have been affected, including our own family and friends.
the road to recovery will be long and hard.
But we can all join together to help these communities rebuild.
The victims of Hurricane Katrina need your support. Log on to unitedway.org to volunteer or help wherever it's needed.
NFL Network is great, but I've got some programming ideas.